knots.
V1.
Okay, so this is not good, especially since, yeah, we're in Gibraltar, just so you know, and the weather is starting to clear up, but wait until you see the back, which is really not good at all, just so you know. But yeah, we're pretty much screwed, and so yeah. Anyways, welcome back. We are back in the Boeing 737-800 with Ryanair Airlines or Ryan Airlines, whatever. And yeah, this is a flight that I don't think Ryanair even makes, from Gibraltar to Madeira. I didn't record Madeira, but you know, I just thought it was interesting to record Gibraltar. And I still have a video of Madeira anyways, you can check it out, its link is above. But anyways, yeah, you can see what we're dealing with. Expecting tons of turbulence. We not only have the topography from the yeah, from Gibraltar, but we also have these massive clouds, which should definitely be an issue. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, I have already recorded this, so I apologize if I spoil some things. But anyways, I'm not gonna spoil the general thing, which I'm not gonna reveal. And yeah, you might notice something that's definitely wrong, and I could have killed myself easily. You'll see it by now. It is, there it is, the flaps. The flaps were supposed to set 15, but I set flaps 0 in Gibraltar, and that could have easily resulted in a crash. And yeah, I could have been screwed in no time. So yeah, I had to apologize myself to the fact that I remembered somehow. I mean, I somehow forgot, and I somehow saved myself. But anyways, yeah, this is very complicated. But yeah, we're gonna take off very soon. I hope now. Once we start the clocks. Yeah, the clocks. And there's Toga. No, not Toga. It's 40% on one, and then Toga. There it is. Release of the brakes, and then full Toga, full thrust, full everything. Yeah. We still, I mean, there's SP to life. 80 knots. Barely. Yeah, 100, and barely a rotate. And yeah, look at the winds. Yeah, how they look very weird. And gear up. Wow. That was actually really close. There, this gear is up. And we're going runway heading, and we're just gonna have to climb all the way up as fast and as soon as possible. And especially since we have full toga, so we pretty much don't have a choice. And yeah, this is very screwed. I'm not sure if how is it possible to survive this? I don't know. People have done it, yes, but those people are experts, and I'm not considered an expert. Yeah, the packs were obviously off because the thing about the packs is that they remove uh, the use of the thrust. I mean the use of the engines towards the thrust, and the packs sort of just remove the thrust usage, and that is why you turn them off, because you have to give as much thrust as possible when you're taking off. And, and yeah, it's a little bit of a fun fact, because that could have easily resulted in a crash if I didn't turn them on. And yeah, so we are going to L now. We're now going direct toward the next waypoint, which is not a standard instrument departure, and a SID. Um, there are no SIDs in Gibraltar, mostly because it's a small airport. But yeah, it is quite complicated, especially for the topography. Yeah, look at the turbulence. Oh, yeah, the turbulence is quite harsh, and I had to turn on the igniters towards flight because when you don't do that, the engine might just fail in like no time because the turbulence just sort of shakes things up. I'm not sure how exactly, but the engine can at any time shut down, especially if there's some debris. And yeah, that is why you have to turn them on. Also in the Airbus you have to set to start mode, and in Boeing you just have to flight mode, or in or start mode if you're in the Dreamliner or in any other aircraft that I can't remember. And yeah, look at that. Also look at the wing and how it's vibrating, which is very, very, yeah. Yeah, we're going first to West Sahara. I think that is the name of the country, and then we're going straight towards the Atlantic to Madeira. And yeah, look at the turbulence. It is quite literally FS Reality, which is an add-on that improves the um, the movement of the camera, and yeah, that is actually quite like it, and that could mean that the movement, if it was more realistic, would have been much stronger. And somehow I am surviving. Still below the clouds, technically, but we're climbing fast. There was no selected temperature. And yeah, look at that. And there it is, 10,000 feet. And yeah, that should mean, the landing lights off and anytime soon. I mean, what I heard is that you have to turn off the landing lights, the lights that point towards the front when you're flying, or when you're about to take off, or obviously to land. And those lights you have to turn them off above 10,000 feet, if I can remember. But I heard that some airlines don't. They just turn them off at like 15,000 or even less. I mean like 5,000 feet above ground level, which is interesting. I don't know what protocols at least Ryanair uses. I have to ask an airline pilot. And yeah, I think yeah, this sort of counts like a escape. We are now fairly above the clouds, thankfully. And yeah, what actually happened is we took off at a very short runway, and we used more flaps to have more lift, which is how they work. They make more drag, and that is why you normally don't put them all the way down. You just put them halfway there, 15 flaps 15 degrees, and then once you take off, you just sort of remove them, just to provide less drag and go faster, which is the point of efficiency, literally. And yeah, that is how everything works. The flaps, yeah, I heard that you can't really put the flaps quite low if you're at like flaps more than 10, 10 degrees. If you're at a very high level airport, if you're at 5,000 feet or something, and there's some mountains that you have to escape, you can't put that much flaps because that it decreases climb performance, and you climb less in the takeoff, and that could mean an accident of any sort, which is what I heard. But in this case, it wasn't really an issue. We're in sea level, and the topography. I mean, there were not really any mountains in the Gibraltar area. And yeah, we just took off. We went through the clouds, lots of turbulence, and yeah, lots of turbulence, and pretty much that said, we went direct towards the next waypoint and we are continuing our flight. Also, we are switching off the igniters, they're not really necessary, the turbulence is gone, and the seatbelt signs to auto. Yeah, imagine if we left them off during the takeoff, that could have resulted in some severe injuries. I don't know, I think the passengers aren't that stupid. But anyways, I think not much is gonna happen. We are above the African continent, and we are going straight towards the Atlantic. So, so yeah, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up. And also, I thank you so much for the performance of the last video, which is about the landing in LA. That was actually a very beautiful landing. I highly recommend you check it out. But if you haven't, um, I mean, if you already have, thank you so much for, you know, contributing to the amount of performance it gained. It was actually the best video it has. So yeah, and it was all because of you. So so yeah, these landings are mostly for you. I don't really do them for me, you know. I do them for you to and to help you with your landings because those landings, if especially if they're good, you actually learn from them. But like the one year, are you supposed to flare and what type of aircraft? It mostly depends. The airspeed, etc., the vertical speed, and those things are quite necessary to know how to land the aircraft. And and yeah, I highly recommend you to watch it. Oh, and also because of the scenery, it is quite beautiful. And yeah, I think that's it. And that is why I highly encourage you to subscribe. If you subscribe, you won't miss any of these landings, which are quite, very beautiful. And yeah, we'll see you on the next flight. Happy flying.